Today on the Mike O'Mara Show.
One of the greatest passive-aggressive lines you ever get. What's the matter? And the line is, I'm fine.
Yep.
Especially if you're not, obviously, if you're going, I'm fine.
The
the eyebrows up
breath,
and that type of thing.
Yeah.
The big
fine.
sigh
Huge.
where you're not fine, but you don't want to get into a
I
conflict.
had
so you say,
somebody
I'm
tell me
fine.
they were doing breathing exercises one time.
Well, Mike, this is your old hometown. Kids in shopping carts.
That's it.
And my mom starts talking about how she could have been murdered and she could have been buried in the backyard. And at this point,
About like by your father, maybe?
yeah, I'm like, who else would have done it, right? So at this point,
Jose.
I call my dad because this is 12 episodes in. I've been hearing this drum beat. I'm like, I called my dad and I said, Dad, would you ever have buried Mom in the backyard of the Blair House apartments, like when we were younger and were growing up?
All that and more. The Mike O'Mara Show starts now. Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Hey, that worked out pretty well. Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. That's very loud for me, Rob. I don't know why, but it is. Hi, everybody. Help your 4th of July. Can you turn that down in my headphones just a wee bit?
Well, you're playing it.
Oh, sorry. That's me. Can we start over?
Yes.
Well, not the whole thing.
This has been
Not
a
we can
really,
stay on
really...
the air, please.
Huh?
We got to stay on there. We can't continue just going live.
Well,
on Facebook.
it's just been confusing.
Let's start it from the
confusing.
beginning.
All
People
right.
can see how we make the cake.
All right. You ready for the gong? Okay.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara,
That's the line.
Oscar Santana,
That's what I was talking
and
about,
Rob
not my music.
Spiewak.
Okay. So
It
you
just was
Now,
loud coming to
here's
me.
Mike.
No, stop it.
Okay. It stopped.
And we'll start again. I have to go a little hotter on my music, and you have to go a little softer, at least to me.
Okay.
Explain why that is to our listeners that might be listening to this. Why sometimes what I'm hearing in my headphones is not what's going out on the broadcast.
It is
and that
something
happens
called
to
the
be
send.
Yeah, what's
yeah.
being
The send,
sent to you.
the send on our show is periodically, especially after a long weekend, gets a little askew. So if we can start, maybe we'll get it perfect this time, and we'll start from the beginning.
All righty. Here we go.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
I think maybe,
Let's get
maybe
started.
maybe a little hotter on.
Okay. We can do that.
Not quite my tempo. Somewhere in between where it was before
This is great.
Okay.
and where it was now.
All right,
and
I
then
thi-
we'll take. And this time it might be perfect. And we were doing a bunch of other things, so we didn't really do the sound check. The
I
way
think
we
you're going to
normally
like
do.
this.
Okay.
You ready?
Let's start again, taking it from the top.
All righty.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Me likey.
Mikey, like
Mikey likey.
I have to. There's just a way that. And I bet when you produce it, when you pre-produce it,
it'll go like that.
that just has,
Yeah.
I feel that's us.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just a little badass.
The last
It's-
track was forced. This is better.
Last track was a little bit, this is just more fun.
Oh, I like
this
the,
is
I
a
like
track,
the bass on this.
but this is also saying, yes, I'm electronic, but I'm good electronic.
You're digital,
I
but
like
understand the analog world.
This makes me happy. And I'm not sure if it has a big finish or not, but we're going to loop it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, no, it doesn't have a big finish.
Oh,
So,
it will when I'm done with it.
Fruit Loop it.
Yeah.
welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. We're coming to you from Churchville, New York. Do I have the right cities this week?
That sounds right. What's the second
This is
one?
new.
Mountain View, Arkansas, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
No,
because
that's
it's
old.
Ratchet City.
Cincinnati
That's
is old.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got it.
Okay.
Roanoke, Virginia, Deadwood, South Dakota,
That's
Jackson Township, New Jersey,
Not-
Glacier National Park, Montana, undisclosed Air Force location in the Middle East,
That was my favorite one this week.
and Camisano, Vicentino, Italy.
It's so nice.
Camisano Vicentino. Those are cool cities. I'll have to rehearse. Sorry, 3-day weekend. It always gets a little wobbly in here, and just a little out of sorts. I don't know. I feel like maybe some fingers of an 8-year-old might have been in my studio this weekend, but I'm not sure. I'll have to
Isn't
get
that
to
his
the bottom
gaming
of that.
room as well?
No.
Oh, not
no.
anymore.
Well, is he
His
still
gaming
doing?
room,
Is he
this
still doing his podcast?
No, but he's gaming in his room by himself.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
All right.
I thought that was
And he's
a
doing
shared
well.
space.
And he's out of doors as well. He's out of doors and will be wandering around and playing sports and doing what we have him do. And happy post 4th of July weekend. Sure hope you two had a better one than I did. It was nothing bad happened. It just was a kind of a meh.
Well,
4th
the
of
news
July.
cycle didn't help at all. It's
No, very
absolutely
dark.
terrifying.
Yeah.
What happened? What did I
Oh,
miss?
stop.
How dare you?
How dare you?
I swear to God, what did I miss?
No, come on.
Seriously, what happened?
No, you're being a jerk. I'm not falling into
Something
this trap.
happened?
This bear trap.
Yeah.
No.
I feel. I
I
feel like we're
swear
being led
to
into
God
something.
Almighty, there's a lot of news and it's always bad. Maybe I'm not putting the import
It's the
on
same.
it.
It's the same BS. Another shooting. You know this.
Yeah.
A mass shooting.
Yes.
Yes.
At a 4th of July parade.
Just north of Chicago in Highland Park.
Can I be honest with you? I probably skimmed by it. The number was like 4 or 5 fatalities.
Isn't it
with that?
6 fatalities,
6.
33 injured?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably saw it. I am not being flip, and I am not being trying to be sarcastic or cynical. I am telling you, Oscar, that I probably scanned that and just, it's just the way of
Desensitized
the
to
world. I'm desensitized to it. It's horrible. I feel that way. I don't know. I don't know about it. I spent a good chunk of my 4th of July weekend with a guy that was attacking me for my comment about Hillary when I was talking about the Supreme Court. And I'm not sure whether he got it or he didn't get it, that I was trying to communicate to him that I was being sarcastically saying, thanks, Hillary, only because she lost the election. And
Right.
if she hadn't lost the election, that perhaps we would have a different Supreme Court. That's it. But it went on. And it brought me to a place where I have, over the last 6 months, probably had more run-ins with people on the left than people on the right. And I am here to tell you that I get it. If you've listened to me for any length of time, I think you know where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't have to show my credentials or anything, but I also think that everybody from every corner of the world, it is time to chill the F out.
What was his angle that he would be so upset about that remark, even if he didn't catch the sarcasm? What you said was based in fact, that if we had a Democrat in office, then the appointments to the Supreme Court
people-
would have been
look,
different.
look,
I mean,
people-
that's fact.
All right, I'll read it to you.
All right.
Here we go. And it'll go nameless. I don't need names on this type of thing. It said, it's a long
Matt
one.
Bloom.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys? What?
No, I just said his name was
What
Matt
about
Bloom.
Matt? No. Are we okay? Is
I was
that-
just
'cause
joking.
Yeah, he
you
was
were
saying
pointing
that
to
it
your
was-
head or
it was a
whatever.
joke.
He said
Everything's sounding okay,
Everything's
though?
fine,
I mean,
yeah.
technically.
Yeah, that's why I said Matt Bloom.
So here we go. You mean Matt wrote the email
Yeah.
to me?
Yes.
It says, hi, Mike. I've been a listener for who knows how long. Started on the DNM show, WJFK. I've loved the podcast, and I've listened to every episode. Sometimes I've fallen behind by up to 2 weeks because of life, but I always went in order because I couldn't think of missing some great bit or conversation. But now I'm done. I think he meant to say, I, like you, are on the left side of politics, and I've always appreciated your opinion on things, and I've understood that you can't or won't always go as hard as you might like because you have a listening audience to appeal to. Last week, when the issue of Roe v. Wade finally came up on your show, and your initial reaction was a loud, sarcastic, you got that, "Thank you, Hillary," I tapped out. Your response to a Republican-packed Supreme Court making this decision and you're choosing to blame the most progressive, experienced candidate this country has ever had for the presidency is unforgivable. By saying thank you, Hillary? I'm not going to lie. I will miss listening to the show every day. But I cannot support this kind of narrow-minded thinking. Now, I got that from somebody on the left who knows my politics and considers the thank you, Hillary, which he identified as sarcastic, to be unforgivable.
Mike,
Now,
I think it's forgivable.
Well, I don't think it was...
the premise of the conversation, if you're actually listening, and most people don't. And that's fine. The premise of the conversation was like, Oscar and Rob, I'm tired. And I was tripling down on how this is the time not to be tired, to dig deeper.
Right. And
you called me a fascist. I remember that.
I think that that is not true.
You didn't.
I do.
Yeah.
No, but you were saying don't give up. You know,
I said don't give up.
That thing. But and you're right. And by the way, as Rob knows, because he's been with me longer, when election season arrives, I never give up. I always go back.
No, you fight.
It's a disease.
Yeah.
I come back to it. I wrote back to this guy. My comment, which you may or may not have picked up on, was a sarcastic indication of my frustration at her failed presidential campaign. I voted for Hillary, and I was gutted when she lost. My feeling that all of this Supreme Court BS could have been avoided if she had just managed to eke out a victory over the great orange idiot is where my comment came from. Now, that should piss people off that are on the other side, saying that on the show. She was qualified, she was progressive, but she was a terrible candidate, which I stand by.
I think you're right.
She was not a good... I think that she could have done a lot better. Like won. That's all. She could have won.
Yeah,
Well, everybody thought
Coming
she
in
was
first
candidate.
place
I'm not
is
talking
better.
about her qualifications. I think she was eminently qualified. But I didn't like her as a candidate, and she was unable to close the deal because she was a bad politician. I think she would have made a good president. I said that. If you think that I was being narrow-minded, then I don't think you got my point.
He didn't listen.
No.
And then he goes back.
With respect, he heard what he wanted to hear, turned off the radio, and said,
Well, he did, and then ultimately he never responded. He said, thank you for the civil response. You are far too experienced and way too funny to think that your response was sarcastic, even though in your effing message you called it sarcastic.
He's not right. He's broken somewhere in there.
He's not broken. He stopped listening to the rest of the conversation. He got
He
upset.
does. We shut down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shut down. Two sides to everything, And as far as I was disappointed, my comment was out of disappointment. That's what I was.
Yeah.
And where we are right now, which wouldn't have been the case
True
if
bummer,
she
man.
had won. That's all, And so you called her a crap candidate. That wasn't sarcasm. That's how you feel. Yes. Yeah. I also think she would have made. You can.
But you were just quoting Chuck Todd, weren't you?
You can be both.
Of course.
Thought she would have made a great president. Really do. Maybe one of the best ever. Thought she was a crap candidate.
Yeah.
They don't go hand in hand. Somebody who's not a good candidate, we've missed a lot of great opportunities because the person that won wasn't the, person that should have won.
In fairness to the campaign, think about the amount of, I remember this was so clear. The amount of people that said there's going to be a landslide. I remember calling Mike
tons of people.
I called Mike up it's like 6:30 p.m.
Right.
And I'm driving across the American Legion Bridge, if you know the D.C. area. It's one of the main bridges.
It's a great bridge.
And I'm like, hey, I just heard the guy on TOP that's like hit every election, hit the head on the nail, or the nail on the head.
Nail
damn
on
it.
the head, yeah.
God damn it. And he's called it. And he's calling it for Hillary. No problem. And then Mike said, I hope so, Oscar. I don't have a good feeling about this. I hope so. And I said,
I felt weird.
I said, why would this guy come on TOP?
Right.
And they make a big deal about him, and he's like, I hope. And literally, I remember Big O and Dukes had an event that night, right? And
wasn't it a Trump fundraiser?
No, it was not.
He was happy though,
of course. But to your point, nobody knew. I mean, I didn't know it was coming.
No, he started. Your old radio partner started on a joke
I wasn't
thing,
politically involved.
But he started as a bit. I remember it vividly.
Yeah, I
as
dressed
a
up
bit.
like Uncle Sam.
And then when when Drab and Chad realized, hey, we are onto something. And then ride the wave, baby. Ride the wave. And a lot of people, I swear to God, I think he's not alone. I think a lot of people started supporting Trump as a great bit. They didn't say it was a bit. And then it became real.
So,
well, if you go back, and forgive me for interrupting, Oscar, when they had like one of the debates where they had like 60 candidates in front of a plane, do you remember that debate?
Yeah.
It was comical that Donald Trump was among them because we all thought this could never happen. As it got closer and closer to reality, it became less funny. But at the beginning, it was a riot.
Yeah, and guys, look, nobody wants to be reminded about how they lost the Super Bowl that they should have won.
Right.
Nobody wants to know that they lost the world championship that they should have won. Like any Mets fan, was Bill Buckner? What was his name?
Well, Bill Buckner, but that would be a Red Sox.
A Red Sox fan doesn't want to be reminded of that bull.
Where he gets, I think Bill is passed too. I believe Mr. Buckner is no longer.
But you know what I mean? Like,
sad.
You know
but
what
I
I'm
also
saying?
like to always say Oscar Calvin Chiraldi because he was the guy that lost the World Series.
But
he was the relief
for the
pitcher.
same point, that's nobody wants to hear that.
You
But
mean
they gotta
as far
hear
as
it.
like a supporter of Hillary or something? Can I finish what this guy said
please,
to me?
please.
So this guy goes on to say, that wasn't sarcasm. That's how you feel. What? Upset that she lost? I'm telling you the truth. I'm not trying to bust balls.
Yeah.
I'm simply saying I was upset that she lost. That's how. When the rights of women are taken away, your response is to attack a woman. No, my response was to make a sarcastic comment about the candidate who I believe had it in her grasp, and it had nothing to do with her. It could have been a man as well.
I mean, he obviously knows, or at least knew at one point it was sarcastic because he said so.
Yeah.
But if you go behind the sarcasm, what you're saying is solid fact, is that if she gets elected, those Supreme Court justices are not appointed, period.
What about
Hence my sarcastic
Yeah,
comment.
of course.
Thanks, Hillary. It really wasn't all that sarcastic.
No,
And now
it's-
I'll contradict myself because I felt that way. If she'd been elected, if she'd closed the deal on that guy, then it would have been different. So
and
let
it's
me
not
finish
an
the,
attack on women. I want to say
Don't
that.
yell
too.
at Mike.
Yeah.
He's sweet.
That's
So
true.
he says, your response is to attack a woman. Think about that. Reflect on that. By the way, please enlighten me as to how she was a crap candidate when she told us all what would happen and how everything she told us would happen has come true. That has nothing to do with her candidacy. A political candidate's job is to win elections.
And when you come in second, you are by default a crap candidate because you didn't win.
Precisely.
You did not win.
That's all.
That's it. That's all.
That's all. So I am literally, let's see, Monday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm responding to this guy after that. I don't know if it went.
It's the first order of business, July 4th.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think. I think if it.
That's what you hit emails.
Shut up, you.
You
The
put on
first
your
thing to
powdered
do-
wig,
Yeah.
and
It's
you
time
went
to
on
judge.
Getting into my Uncle Sam outfit, and I'm responding
you
to
get
this
your
guy.
gavel, and you're like, let's.
I
judge
said,
people.
reread
Mixing
my
metaphors, but
response.
yes.
I said to him, reread my response, take a breath, and stop trying to tell me what I meant. Hillary lost the election. She lost to a grifter with the worst moral compass in the history of the Republic. And then I said, her candidate, and then, you know, on Facebook, your fingers get messed up and you have to start another message because you messed up the first one. And then he wrote, in the middle, I'm not exaggerating here, in the middle of my response, he hadn't gotten it yet, and he wrote, that's what I thought. No response.
Oh.
Go touch grass and enjoy your 4th.
Face. Did he write face? Face. would
By
be
the
a
way,
nice
my
closer.
allegedly,
Face.
my team. Allegedly, my side.
Do you think
I don't think
your
so.
side?
No, I don't want him. I don't want to be on his team.
We need everybody we can get.
I said her candidacy was marked by an inability to connect with voters, which I believe.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't do it. Also, a few missteps. But I don't even look. I'm not even saying the people in her political camp that said, don't campaign here, and there was always talk about that if she'd gone to this place and that. I think it was this defensive crouch because she was attacked regularly, and I think she was in a defensive crouch. I said, you should maybe focus your considerable anger on the people who are trying to prevent common sense gun laws, restrict a woman's right to choose, and turn back the clock on voting rights. I stand by my track record on all those issues, but you are the type of individual who wants to judge me based on one comment. I'm glad to get this off my chest here.
Yes.
Said in jest, which it was, that rubbed you the wrong way. I suggest you reflect on why we are so divided in this country. There are good people who disagree with you, but since you believe you have all the answers and anyone who rubs you the wrong way should be canceled, parentheses, no longer listening to my show, I consider you part of the problem. You even gave me SHI.
Right.
For, let me see, you gave me, for not responding, and then I put in all caps because I'm yelling, while I was responding. I am sure if we sat down together, we would agree on many political issues than more than we disagree. Please understand that I don't engage with listeners very often in this forum, which I don't.
Right.
When I do, I share it online. I share it on the air. But I am a liberal Democrat. There I am. Put it on me. Go ahead. Anybody wants to argue that? I wear it proudly for anybody that wants to listen. Do I have it on my show every day? No, I don't. It's boring. And we fight too much, so there's too much of it. But where I live, and this is the truth, folks, and for anybody that might be a Happy Valley person or a Cocoonville person that's listening, I don't care if they hear this, all right? I'm a liberal Democrat, and where I live, I take S about it every week of my life. Every week. It's funny sometimes. It's not other times. I live in the middle of red America, and I proudly let them know all my politics, even though I know that they will judge me, and many of them will no longer treat me normally.
Ostracize
which is the
you.
truth. I don't let it bother me, but it does wear me out because I have to constantly control my anger at them, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes that sucks. To be called out by someone who supports most of the same things I do simply because I said something during one show that he didn't like just plain sucks. My thanks Hillary comment was born out of my frustration that she lost. I hate what Donald Trump activated in this country, and I wish it had all been different. But it wasn't, and here we are. I hope you are clear with my politics, and I hope you will reconsider your decision to support my show. Happy 4th with no response from this gentleman at all.
I
Yes,
thought
Oscar.
we walked away, and if this gentleman would have stayed with the show, it was a clear platform for 2022, and it was 2022, no more wackatoos. Correct?
Did we say that last week?
Yeah. And do's didn't rhyme with twos, so we went wackatoos.
Wackatoos.
No more
yeah.
wackatoos.
It can't be.
Remember, Pony?
It
was
can't
great.
be.
Thank
It
you.
can't be that you got to
I
talk
thought it
to
was
fellow
remarkable.
Americans,
Yeah.
man. Right? I mean, do we have a choice? I don't think we do.
I
No.
think you
You
have
gotta-
to, but Mike, I will tell you, like, I'm scared to even say anything.
Like right now in this forum,
Yeah, because people are
it's charged.
It's zero or like you either you're 100% with the Democrats or you're 100% with the Republicans. There's no middle ground. Everyone yells at each other, and you're like, "What is going to happen?"
Lots of yelling,
here?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
well,
but
I don't
after-
agree.
but
I don't
after-
agree with you,
after-
by the
after
way.
the
I don't
court-
agree at all. I don't agree with that at all.
Well,
I
I'm,
don't.
I'm telling you the way I feel. You know, I agree that I'm happy you disagree with him because I hope that isn't the case.
No, I don't think that there is, as far as this gentleman who wants to cancel us out.
No, that guy's sailed. That ship is
But
sailed.
that's extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying that I will have someone happen to me last night. I was at a little fireworks thing last night, and look, the conversations with me go as follows. So I understand you do a radio. I said I used to. I'd say I do. I have one radio affiliate left, but we're primarily an online. Blah blah blah. Well, what do you sports or politics? Every one of you gets this. I'm
Sure.
talking to Oscar and Rob right now, not our listeners. You guys get the same thing. You know what it's like. And then it eventually goes, well, what are your policies? And sometimes it goes there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I engage, and sometimes I don't. And last night I engaged. Super active, right-wing Republican. We had a very lengthy and very, very legitimate conversation. And I disagreed. And then we found some common ground, which was interesting. But I'm not. Look, I'm talking about this now because of what happened to me over the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't make this a political forum. He had some fascinating things at the end for the Democratic Party to consider, which I thought were interesting. And it just came out of left field, and I was very surprised. But what I'm finding myself doing is I can't talk the talk without walking the walk. And if I'm going to tell listeners, you have to reach out to people, and you have to just put your opinions sometimes in your back pocket and not hit people over the head about it. We were talking last week, and forgive my elderly brain, about Oscar's situation, which was handled so deftly in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a similar thing where you're enlightening somebody, or you're at least letting them know your sensitivities without calling them out. Oscar, I think it's the same to a degree, if you get yourself by accident or not into a political conversation, you have to kind of finesse it. That's the point.
Sure.
Agreed. I don't hide the fact that that I'm a Lincoln Project supporter. Outside of the work we do, even here at Podville Media, we don't hide it. We're very proud of it. We think there's still a lot of work to do, and by we I mean my family, my wife and I, and how we've been educated to a higher level about, the honor and privilege we have to actually vote in this country that I neglected for many years because I felt like other people were taking care of it and didn't affect me. And I really have Mike, you, to thank for this, because you've been beating the drum on the other side saying you got to get involved.
Yeah.
If you don't care, who's going to care?
I think everybody, it's been proven maybe in the last 10 years, maybe in the last 2-3 years, more than it's ever been proven, in my opinion. I think, it's what we have. And I think the vast, we'll have I think it's in the news today, we'll have a little Independence Day fun with Americans and how they think about the 4th of July. I think that we have to, all I'm thinking now, among lots of other issues that I want to get involved with, is how we do our best to communicate with each other. I don't have to agree with you. Don't have to like you. Can really hate some of the things you stand for. But I have to communicate with you. I have to keep the dialogue open. And I'm trying to do that. And I think I do a really good job of it. I have, my desire is to put myself in gentle situations where I can address it if it comes up. And if it comes up, I've become pretty skillful at doing that. If I don't have Mr. Pabst or Mr. Blue Ribbon with me, that's usually
Mr.
Also
Pabst.
tough to make a point where the headline in my Google News feed was the shooting, and then second was the national sriracha shortage that's coming up.
America cares what America cares about, Mike.
So
now you point the absurdity of where we are as a country. I mean, I will give you, it's in the news. I don't care if I skip ahead. The Joey Chestnut hot dog eating contest where he's attacked
the protester.
by a protester.
Yeah.
What? I mean, really?
So cat-like reflexes.
Really?
Guest of
What's
the
that?
show. Proud American.
Yes.
Cat-like reflexes. If
No one dressed as
Joey
Darth
was-
Vader is going to get him.
Yeah, if I was,
We'll tell you the details in the news, but
there's no way I would have
suffice to
stopped
say,
eating if somebody was protesting.
Joey.
Yeah.
Guest on this show. Proud of him. If we can rebook him, congratulate him on his victory, and ask him about the incident, that would be wonderful, Rob. I'd
Okay.
talk to him again.
All right.
Just a quickie. That
Joseph
would be
Chestnut?
fun to talk.
Yeah.
So get Mr. Riddell to to open up the Carney pipeline, please. That's it. We have to find out what's going on. I think that the thing about it is that you have to be aware that everybody wants to fight. Just not the people even the people that agree with you want to fight, like this guy. I said, thanks, Hillary. It was a throwaway comment, and I said she was a crap candidate, and I was not happy with her candidacy, and I stand by that. I'd say it again. I'd also vote for her again if she was running against a lot of people that are out there. I would. But anyhow, it's
even after the Pizzagate scandal?
Even after the
Rob,
Pizzagate with that guy down in the bottom of the the basement or something like that.
That's right. It was
just
a lot of bad business.
Pennywise.
It was getting back to the original thing I asked you two about. It was to me just another example of how the 4th of July was just a big bowl of okay for me. It just was a big bowl
I think
of
this
okay.
year it had its pluses and it had its minuses. First of all, I think a lot of people had a very positive vibe going into it because it was our first proper 4th of July in 3
Coming out of the
years.
pandemic,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, but also America hates a 4th of July on a Monday. They hate it.
No, I was excited for it. And
No,
then
what they want is 4th of July on a Friday.
If we hadn't been invited to our friend's place, kind of a last-minute invitation,
You also
it
have
would
a
been
young
total
kid
bust.
to see fireworks.
I have a young kid,
Yeah,
and
you got to see fireworks.
well, we did in a way. We had a little local thing where we just set some stuff off in the street, and it was kind of fun, little sparklers and stuff. And then when we're coming back home, we went over a bridge, and you could see a whole, Florida's
Doesn't
flat.
Happy Valley do this?
No.
No?
I used to love those. Well, I had a buddy that invited us over, and they did it off their. I wasn't invited again.
Oh, a private
Oh,
affair.
dear.
Okay,
Hence
got it.
the
God bless.
thing where I talk to
yeah.
people. I'm not in that crowd anymore.
Yeah. I'm with you.
But let me see if I can bring this up, and we can. Boom.
The town of
Jennifer.
the town of Kensington didn't have fireworks because they couldn't find people to shoot them off.
Someone lost the lighter?
It's like
So thanks to my friends for having me over. It
Something like
really
that.
was. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Great dinner. Had some drinks.
Yeah.
It was fun. The kids get along. They're the same
Do they
age.
cook
He's an
out?
older father.
Burgers and
no,
hot
we
dogs?
went to they got a little restaurant near their house.
Oh, cool.
And we went there. It was outside. It was fantastic. Temperature was good even when it was hot.
Yeah.
It was not hot.
it sounds
And-
beautiful.
But I still was kind of like, we weren't at a fireworks display,
Right.
which the little kid in me wants to do. But I was okay. But then, it was kind of a meh weekend for a variety of reasons I won't go into.
Who wants to
Just
sweat on a
everybody's-
blanket?
Carla was coming out of the big covey.
Yeah.
And just still felt like crap into
Yeah.
Take some
into the
time.
weekend. But, it's good to have friends, ladies and gentlemen. Because I got home, and at 9:46 p.m., I received a text message video from my dear, dear friend from Herndon, Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The one and only James Tiberius Cerrito. I will play this for you. Hopefully it's loud enough. Jimmy took a video of people leaving the fireworks
The Herndon
in-
fireworks?
in Manassas.
Oh.
And
This is great.
I'll explain it first because that's a better way to do it
Okay.
if we don't get
Right.
the audio. And the video is of a father wheeling his son back, I guess, to their car in a grocery cart.
Ah,
And Jimmy, God bless him,
he knows how to
captions it, "Happy 4th from the Zit." Jimmy is a funny person, and Jimmy, I love you. You know that. I told you that, and you made my night. So let's see what happens.
Well, Mike, this is your old hometown. Kids in shopping carts.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kids in shopping carts. It was Jimmy. And Jimmy's just a great guy.
The best.
Jimmy gets the Jimmy through all the goofiness.
Who lives in
gets the joke.
Manassas.
Yeah.
lives in
Gets it,
Manassas.
yeah.
Lives in Manassas. Gets the joke.
He's got that
It was,
bike fence.
It was
Bike
It
fence
was
is gone.
Okay, all right.
Gone.
But man,
Relax.
where the former home of the Mike O'Mara show
Yeah.
guys, that was 10 steps
Yeah.
out to the lawn of the old courthouse with fireworks directly overhead.
yeah.
It was the best 4th of July house I
Glorious.
ever had.
Fireworks
'Cause I-
over 200-year-old wooden homes.
What could possibly go wrong? Oh man, they were great. I don't know where they let them off, but it was in one of the parks over there.
Lake
And we used
Manassas.
They were great.
I
Did you
think
guys
they
ever
sent
come
them off
over
at
for the 4th?
I think they sent them off at the Sheehy dealership.
It was
They didn't
spectacular.
have cars anyway.
So Jimmy, thank you. I was a little meh, and you made my
Oh, that's
weekend.
awesome.
We got to take a break and come back with the news, including the aforementioned Joey Chestnut debacle. And later in the show, we're going to talk about passive aggressiveness and how certain things are said. I decided to spotlight this because there were so many things on this list that really make me mad.
It's a summertime celebration on the latest bonus show, and there's a special guest. If you haven't heard it yet, here's what you've missed. Surprise!
Piss off the rich and famous.
I'm a very handy young lady.
My name is Rob Spiewak, and I'm the new diabetic.
Pedro says scream real loud.
Hey, 2022, come on.
Oh, are we being snowflakes and sensitive right now?
Let's have a real old-fashioned noisy 4th of July.
My curlies are burning! As Americans, we all have the right to life, liberty, and laughter. Ensure yours today with a bonus show subscription. Just click that banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
God bless America. Want to thank Jim Amato and Mark Riddell for the incredible work they do each and every day. They are fantastic, and they are extremely talented as well. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. This portion of our program is brought to you by Sunday. Does your lawn have weeds, bare patches, or pet spots?
Spotch.
Sunday can help you solve all these problems and more the easy way. They've got everything you need, from fertilizer to seeds to weed control. And it's all delivered right to your door. I used to dread taking the time and effort to fertilize my lawn because, by and large, anyone who knows me will tell you I'm just not a green thumb kind of guy.
Yeah.
But now I look forward to it. Sunday's lawn care products are quick and easy, and I don't even have to go to the store. Going to the store for me is a hassle. Autographs, pictures, selfies. God! Sunday's custom lawn care is the best. Just go to getsunday.com, put in your address, and their lawn analysis tool decides the rest. They use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered to your door right when you need it. Sunday's lawn care products, they are made with your family in mind. That's why they use ingredients that you can feel good about, like seaweed. Let me do that again. Seaweed, iron, and molasses. Best of all, it really works. I've used it, I know. Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get $20 off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/TMOS. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/ it's a backslash, I believe, TMOS. And we thank you, Sunday.
From the four corners of the World Wide Web
Nothing like a
and
good
into your
lawn.
digital device. It's what you need to
You need
know.
fertilizer.
This is the
It's
homepage.
gotta be perfect.
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
Oh, my God. I start with happy news. I know there's been bad news, but
Yeah.
I bring the happy because
Please.
that's what I do. That's
Thank
my
you.
job. Oh, get ready.
Yes.
Lindsay Lohan is a married woman again?
Yeah!
Yes, sir.
I knew it.
Darn it.
Yeah.
The
Oh, you'll get your turn, Pony.
Did Pony
missed
say
it.
darn it?
Yeah, he'll get his turn.
The lucky guy is named Badr Shamas. Say that 10 times quick. Actually, you could. Badr Shamas, Badr Shamas, Badr Shamas, Badr Shamas, Badr Shamas.
Hot buttered shamas.
Badr Shamas, Badr Shamas, Badr Shamas. He works in finance. Hey. They've been together for between 3 and 4 years and got engaged last November. There's no word on when they actually got hitched. In an Instagram post on Saturday, which was also Lindsay's 36th birthday, she said,
God.
quote, "I'm the luckiest woman in the world. You found me and knew that I wanted to find happiness and grace, and all at the same time. Yay! I am stunned that you are my husband.
I think we all
My
are.
life and my everything. Every woman should feel like this every day."
So congratulations.
Yeah.
to,
She had the
Ms.
Beach
Lohan.
Club reality series, and then
Is that
now
still
they're-
on?
Yeah,
Was that
Club
ever a
Lohan,
thing? I don't
yeah.
know.
No, that was one
no?
one and done. One and done.
Did Dennis Quaid go to the funeral? He played her dad in The Parent Trap.
The funeral? You mean the wedding?
Wedding. Oh, that
The
might have
wedding,
been
Rob.
This guy.
Might have been a little bit of a Freudian
your
slip
head's
there.
out. Oh, so I'm sorry. I shouldn't have played that twice.
You should
Let's
have.
move on. We talked about it. Joey Chestnut, he won the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest again yesterday, but this time the competition just didn't come from the other eaters. A protester from the animal rights group Direct Action Everywhere got a little too close, and Joey put him down pretty hard. Now watch this. He's scarfing down his hot dogs, and a guy comes out of the audience and charges Joey, and Joey dumps him while he's still eating the hot dogs.
Mm-hmm. Didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Joey won his 15th title in the last 16 years, but he only downed 63 wieners. That's way off his record of 76, but he was still 20 dogs ahead of his closest competitor. Well, he was attacked. How was he supposed to eat more than that?
Do you think he gauges it back? Does he keep an eye on the scoreboard and know that he doesn't have to go 76?
I think he is probably trying, I would imagine, every year to beat his record.
And Mike, remember, you have to say it like the announcer does. 63 Nathan's hot dogs and buns.
Buns. I've never watched it. Have you watched it?
Have
you actually watched it?
I've watched it.
I love watching ESPN.
All right, I don't particularly like James Cameron, but I kind of see his point here. His Avatar sequels, he says, are going to be long, like 3 hours or more. And he can already hear people complaining about it. His message to those complainers, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. He says, quote, I don't want anybody whining about length when they sit and binge watch TV for 8 hours.
There you go.
It's like, give me an effing break. I've watched my kids sit and do 5 one-hour episodes in a row. He adds, quote, here's the big social paradigm shift that has to happen. It's okay to get up and go pee. Okay, he's upset for some reason. Why are you upset, James? Just make your art.
You know, a lot of people, here's a tip I can offer, a pro tip. If you handle it the way I handled the first Avatar movie, you won't have this problem. And what you do is you don't see it.
It is a good movie.
I've never seen it.
Avatar's not bad.
Yeah.
Blue Cats?
It was visually very unique.
At that time, it was like, it was unlike anything you've ever seen.
Do you need another? Do you need a sequel though?
That's a good question. If they're going to innovate like they did with the first one and perhaps put something in there, no, probably not.
No.
But that's what they do in Hollywood. There are worse products that I would see having a sequel.
Like,
so I mean, I
Titanic
think it's
2,
okay.
Electric Boogaloo.
You can't do Titanic 2.
No.
Why?
There's another
Impossible.
Thor movie coming out.
What if that ship finds another ship?
And what, they make love and give birth to a dinghy? A tender?
A tugboat.
Yeah.
Cameron also explained how he's bringing Sigourney Weaver back for Avatar 2. Even though her character died in the first one, she's playing a totally different character. She plays Kiri, Jake and Natiri's adoptive teenage daughter. Oh, so they're going to CGI her. Avatar: The Way of Water, speaking of pee, hits theaters on December 16th.
I'll go.
So it's way off.
That's a Christmas movie.
Check it out.
That's a movie
I
you
want
gotta
to
see
see
on
the
the
Elvis
big screen.
one that Rob raved about.
I saw it a third time over the weekend.
third time
You
with
got to
who?
go. Yes, I wanted Carrie to see it.
Oh, that's
So I
sweet.
took her and my mom to go see it again.
That's nice.
How much money would an airline have to offer you to give up your seat and take a later flight? It obviously depends on where you're going, what you're doing, and whether it would mess up your plans. Is that $200 or $2,000?
$2.
Yeah. If
Rob
you gave me
Spiewak.
$100, I'm good.
Easy, Mar.
It's me in the airport again.
Would 10 grand do the trick for either one of you?
Oh,
Oh,
life-changing.
God, yeah.
Yes.
A writer for Inc.com named Jason Ayton went on a trip to Alaska last week with 7 family members, his wife, 4 kids, and 2 other adults. And before they took off, Delta offered them $10,000 to get bumped to a later flight, but Jason turned it down. That's $1,250 a seat for 8 seats. Well,
then it's not $10,000.
it's not $10,000. You're right. It's not. And not in travel vouchers. They were offering $10,000 on a Visa gift card or with an immediate transfer over to Apple Pay. Jason says that it took a minute to register that it was a serious offer, and then he was worried about how long they'd be delayed, if their plans in Alaska would be effective. Oh, they were on the way to Alaska. That's different than coming back.
Yes.
And whether 10 grand was worth it. So he declined and watched a few other people take Delta up on
Don't be a hero. Take the money.
But Rob's right. It's a $1,250 offer.
Meanwhile, Delta paid them in crypto. You know this
Isn't that
happened.
enough money?
No, $1,250. Depending on what your plans are for a vacation nowadays with what people pay for vacations.
Right.
I don't have an easy answer.
And also,
maybe
if it's an instant transfer, but certainly not in a gift card, because you know what happens is you get back on the plane and all of a sudden it's into the Sky Mall and you're buying a thing that shoots marshmallows.
It would pay for the vacation.
You buy yourself a beautiful framed picture of Vince Lombardi with an inspirational quote. Then where's your gift card? Gone.
How many times? All that travel we did in the 90s. And you read them all cover to cover, Spiewak.
Sky Mall.
I missed that
You
one.
might not recognize the name Martin Cooper, but you spend hours a day worshiping one of his creations. And no, he isn't the founder of Netflix. Martin is 92. And about 50 years ago, he invented a little thing called the cell phone.
Hey, Marty.
It was 1973. The phone was called the Motorola Dynatac 8000X. Obviously, it looks nothing like the smartphones we have now. His phone was basically a 13-inch brick of plastic with an antenna sticking out. They appeared in some 80s movies like Wall Street when Gordon Gekko's on the beach. Anyway, Martin was on a BBC morning talk show recently, and he said that he spends less than 5% of his time on his mobile phone, and he seemed shocked when someone suggested that they spend around 5 hours on theirs. He said, quote, I don't know if he's British, do you really? Do you really spend 5 hours a day? Get a life! And that's coming from a 92-year-old. That has a little more power
He
when
would
they say that.
spend. He would spend more time if he found OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did he own the patent for this, or did he just invent it?
It just says he invented it, so maybe he doesn't have the patent. Maybe he's a bitter old man.
Yeah, I'd be bitter as well.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be bitter, incredibly bitter. I bought this up before we did it, but this is Independence Day, and this is America. Independence Day may be synonymous with summer, but a new survey finds many Americans should go back to school. It turns out 1 in 3 people don't know how to spell independence. And even fewer know why Americans celebrate on the 4th of July. Specifically, the poll of 1,000 Americans commissioned by lawsuit.org. Interesting
I
website.
live there. It's a great website.
They found over a third spell independence incorrectly. Moreover, researchers add that internet searches on how to spell independence skyrocket by 85% during the July 4th holiday weekend. The most common way people misspell this important word in the American lexicon is by using an A and spelling it independence.
Oh, I thought they would have spelled it
independent.
They'd use an A and spell it independence.
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 Other common misspellings include independence with an S, independence without the other E. It goes on and on.
I can't laugh. One of these was probably mine.
No.
Spelling
you're
isn't
fine.
the only thing giving many people trouble on the 4th. The survey also discovered that plenty of respondents deserve an F in American history. As most elementary school students could tell you, July 4th commemorates the adoption of the Declaration of Independence in 1776,
right,
signaling our nation's freedom from British rule. However, the poll found 2 in 3 young adults in Gen Z don't know who America declared its independence from.
You're kidding.
Right here.
Wow.
It's lawsuit.org.
Lawsuit.org.
By the way, in Florida, 3 out of 4 people say the 4th of July is when you set off the boomstick. Yeah. Yeehaw. Till 3 o'clock in the morning. Yippee-yi-yo, ki-yay. Boom, boom, boom. I don't care if it is 4 a.m.
Boomstick.
Woo! Duh. We'll take a break and we'll talk about passion aggressive, passiveness. We'll take a break and we'll talk about. I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Oh, paisans! The Mike O'Mara Show can be watched on Facebook and YouTube. Listened to on iTunes and Spotify. Now I present to you the show's next conquest, TikTok. Check out video clips of the show with new content every day. Click on @MikeO'Mara and follow today. Capiche? Grazie. Now back to our capo, Mike O'Mara.
Enjoy your time, Paulie. In your whatever. Your
Happiest man on
all-inclusive.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Let's see. In an effort to offset inflation, the Federal Reserve has turned up the heat with the biggest jump in interest rates since 1994. The days of ultra-low rates are behind us, but there are still opportunities out there within the mortgage industry. For example, 1/3 of all mortgages are carrying PMI. With the double-digit appreciation last year, you can refi to remove the PMI or take some of that cash out for any reason. When it comes to purchasing a home, the mortgage lender you choose can be the difference between winning or losing your contract on that home. So take my advice and call Mark Livingstone and his team at Cornerstone First Financial. Whether it's a purchase or refinance, call the good people at Cornerstone First Financial today. One of the longest-running advertisers on our show. Call Cornerstone First Financial today. The number one choice of all TMOS listeners, 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. Thank you, Cornerstone First Financial. We appreciate it. I think it's no secret that many people, myself certainly included, don't care for passive aggressiveness. I hate it more than anything. I like head on. I like it.
What is? Some people might not understand what passive aggressive is because they do it all the time.
Yeah, because you hear it all the time, and I think it's overused, and I think it needs an explanation. A new poll found the most passive aggressive people in our lives, believe it or not, are coworkers, with 20% of the vote. But our moms were a close second, 18%. According to the results, here are the most annoyingly passive-aggressive phrases. Let me look over this again because I want to go 10-1 probably.
Mike, before you jump into that, I'll give you a brief explanation of what passive-aggressive is.
All right, he looked it up on his phone.
It is. It allows a person to express anger and related emotions without directly communicating these feelings. People expressing passive aggression often retain the ability to deny that they intended their behavior aggressively.
Number 10, in my opinion, would be one of the greatest passive-aggressive lines you ever get. What's the matter? And the line is, I'm fine.
Yep.
Especially if you're not, obviously, if you're going, I'm fine.
With
the eyebrows
the
up
breath,
and that type of thing.
Yeah.
The big
fine.
sigh,
Huge.
where you're not fine, but you don't want to get into the cat.
I had somebody tell me they were doing breathing exercises one time, and I almost took the steering wheel and just yanked it to the
I'm
right
not
real quick
sighing,
to
I'm
get
doing
off
breathing
to get off the baby.
You should be nice. Breathing exercise is the only exercise I got for many years.
Well, God bless you.
Thank you.
Still here.
This is great. So I'm going to set this scene for you. You're in at a dinner table, and you've cooked dinner for everybody.
Okay.
Bob, you can relate to this.
Sure.
And you're sitting down, and somebody says, that was surprisingly good.
Oh,
That's passive aggressive.
That's
like surprising. Like what? What did you expect? It was going to taste like feces?
Yeah.
Is that what you were looking for?
I was going to cook the duck too hard or too much.
Overcooked duck.
Overcook. I don't even know how you cook duck.
You roast it.
Now this one I don't get. This is I get it, but it's a little. It's why don't you just blank? Like why don't you just drive? Or why don't you just go out? Why don't you know what I mean? It's why don't you just do that? Why don't you just?
That's not very passive.
Take a walk.
That's just telling you
it's not a good
kick
one.
rocks.
Yeah, it's not
a
good at
crappy
all.
one.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Mike, why don't you
the
just read the list?
Yeah. You get a lot of that.
Here's the next one, number 7. I was just kidding.
Not fair.
Hey, don't get so mad. Does this happen to you a lot? You got so hostile just now.
I think Carrie and Rob probably played
Does
ping
she
pong
say, I'm just
with these
kidding?
words.
I'm getting plastic surgery. Just kidding. Not.
Yeah. We got a great rate on the visa.
Point, this list is, I'm a little disappointed. Always come to rehearsal, kids.
Yeah.
You should have known that is another one. Or you should have known better. That's aggressive, right? I don't think that's very passive.
Well,
do you?
what that is not passive, and that's really that's piling on and kicking when they're down.
That's direct.
I will give you number 5. It makes up for the other ones because this is the Mac Daddy of all passive aggressive lines. Sure, if that's what you want to do. That is the. I mean, we've all. Hello, guys.
Yes.
And gals.
Yeah.
We've all gotten that. We've all.
And I'll add to that: the longer you've been married or with someone, the more likely that one is to come as your first defense, because you can recognize out of the chute when an argument is pointless.
I'm at the stage in my marriage where my wife questions every little thing that I'm doing. But was 5 years in, and then I prove her wrong, and she never acknowledges that, like,
That might not be for the passive aggressive list. That might actually be therapy.
Okay,
you might want to bring.
And you'll
that up
never
in,
get
your
credit.
therapist.
Noted.
You'll never get credit.
I'll give you a hypothetical here. Where I'll create a little fantasy here. Hey, Carla, the local casino is having a special night for Irish Americans over the age of 60 years old. I'm going to get $400 in free credit, and Carl Yastrzemski is going to be there signing baseballs.
Huge.
You want to go with me?
Huge.
Sure, if that's what you want to do.
Got it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Understood? Here it is. And if you want to send me into a bit of a mini meltdown, you can usually get me there by saying whatever. Whatever is the worst. It is the worst.
Dismissive.
And that I think is the
I
think it's the definitive passive aggressive line. You know,
like can I give you an example with Pony? This is passive aggressive, and I know it is because I had a lot of practice with this guy. Bonus show on Friday. Had a great bonus show. Very natural, very organic. I thought talked
really
about a lot of different topics.
Fun.
Jennifer was hilarious. Like it was good. Had a great feeling. Like floated out of the studio.
Yeah,
right?
the kind of the show that when you leave it, you feel good about it.
The whole time, what you don't get to see is my perspective, Mike. I see one light out during the show, like somebody didn't set the set correctly. So I walk into Pony. I said, "What a great show! Wouldn't it have been great if every light was on in the studio?"
These are studio lights, like lighting the set.
Yeah. That's I knew that left him on like kind of.
And did he say whatever?
No, he said, "Oh, weird! I didn't notice it."
There you go. Pony
said,
counterpoint.
Oh,
whatever.
Yes.
The number 3 one is no offense, but that's usually yeah.
That's
I don't want to offend you, but
that doesn't count. That's like I was only joking.
It was certainly offensive.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It is a day-to-day version of when someone in court, especially in like a very dramatic television or movie court setting, says something, there's an objection, and they say they withdraw the remark, but the jury still heard it. So you didn't really withdraw it.
This next one comes in many of my altercations with our Bolivian bloviator.
Yes.
And that is directed at me regularly in a different, not always in this phraseology, but it's the same thing. Why are you so upset?
Yeah.
That is one.
This is a lot of off air.
That is one that is it's horrible. And then number 1.
I think the great George Lopez actually had an album called "Why Are You Crying?"
Why are you crying? There you go. And the number 1 for the passive aggressive list, ladies and gentlemen, you're too sensitive. You're too sensitive.
Yeah. That falls under the "I'm just joking" umbrella.
Yeah. And it's or you're too sensitive. No, you're too insensitive.
Do you? It's like, why? And I get this from a lot, not personally for me, but I see when people either you're detail oriented, this is like work wise,
right?
Or which there's another word for that. But all of it has to do with wanting more, like a more buy-in from that person, whether it's emotional or it's like an action or a responsibility. Like the other option is just do it all yourself and move on with life.
No, you have to, you have to be direct. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
You have to be direct and say, I need you to do that. And I think people, you don't have to be a dick about it, but if you're direct with people, and sometimes, to make an omelet, right? To make an omelet?
Yeah,
you
need
ham.
ham.
You got to break those eggs, period. And not ham, you ass. No. We have to take a break, and we will come back with something. I have no idea. But anywho, you're listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. Break eggs.
Break eggs. You got to break eggs to make an omelet. That's right.
The big omelets down in the Caribbean with the ham they used from last night's dish. There you go. Anyway, that's it. We'll be right back. I don't know.
Greetings to
Going
my
get me in-
father.
Has he got a condo or does he have an apartment?
They call him Condo Bob.
Hello, I'm Condo Bob.
I once saw Condo Bob bowl a perfect game while receiving a colonoscopy.
Best damn management consultant in the firm.
He had to have his feet registered as deadly weapons in the state of Delaware.
Condo Bob has fathered every male child in Indonesia since 1985.
In the wintertime, snow will not accumulate on his walkway out of respect to Condo Bob.
Condo Bob!
Condo Bob does all of his shopping through the TMOS Shopping Center. One click and he gets what he wants. While everyone else has to click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com, Condo Bob simply orders his items through the power of his mind.
Got a condo made of stoner.
Condo Bob.
Condo
Oh
Bob.
my God, I love that. Hey, I also love to go fishing with my son Michael. What I don't like is the motion sickness, the seasickness, the nausea, and the feeling of rolling waves for hours after I'm back on dry land. I don't care for that. It ain't good. Here's the good news. I didn't get it at all when I used my Relief Band.
Yes.
The Relief Band is the #1 FDA-cleared anti-nausea wristband that's been clinically proven to relieve and prevent nausea and vomiting associated with motion sickness, anxiety, migraines, hangovers, morning sickness, chemotherapy, and so much more. It's 100% drug-free, non-drowsy, and zero side effects. Relief Band stimulates a nerve in the wrist that travels to the part of the brain that controls nausea. You wear it like a wristwatch, right on your wrist. It's easy. It looks like a Fitbit. Then it blocks it, and now they have the Relief Band Sport. It's waterproof and has extended battery life. You can even attach to your Apple or your Android watch. The best thing about my Relief Band is that it works almost instantly. It's so effective you won't believe it. So if you're planning your next fishing trip or you just get nauseous after filling up our gas tank, I've got good... What does that mean, Rob?
Because the gas prices are so high.
for a boat.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Oh, okay. All right. Was that you? Was that all you?
It was a suggested copy point.
Thank you. You mean it wasn't yours?
No.
Okay. And so, whatever. Right now, you can join
You're
the
too
over
sensitive.
100. You're too insensitive, Mr. President. You can join the over 100,000 Relief Band users with an exclusive offer just for Mike O'Mara listeners. If you go to reliefband.com and use promo code TMOS, you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping and a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee. Remember, it's better to have a Relief Band and not need it than to need it and not have it. So head to RELIEFBAND.com and use our promo code TMOS for 20% off plus free shipping. You know the scene in The Birdcage, Rob, where they're clearing out everything because Gene Hackman's going to come down? And remember when the kid goes, don't add... subtract.
I understand. Yes.
That's exactly how I feel about that last thing I was talking about there. It would be perfect if we subtracted.
Understood.
Thank you so very much.
It's your favorite mathematical notion is subtraction.
Subtraction. Do we have time to talk about this? I think we do. Yeah, we've got a full segment.
Yeah.
I want to hear about anytime you fight with your mother. I'm so sorry. I mean, I did not have a weekend that was either exciting or high in conflict. It was just a bit of a malaise. And if I shared that, it would be meh. Nothing going on that much. Just kind of a drag. Wife getting over COVID. Wife dealing with some other issues that happen periodically. If you know what I mean? But then you came in and said you fought. And I think there might have been, it might have been a tense fourth for a few people.
It's in the air. If all of you that have listened to the show for some time know that I don't know if you were supposed to say this, but my mom is I love her. She's everything to me.
Sure.
Well, you're good to her,
more
too.
so
you're
than
incredibly good
if
to
I
her.
had a favorite parent, you got to choose. It's easy. It's my mom.
I'm not sure I'd say that.
Oh, you can't say that?
No.
Okay.
No, you just say you love your parents.
I'm just being direct.
And you love your mom.
My mom's my favorite parent.
I got a grainy WhatsApp
Absolutely.
call this weekend from old Papa. He seemed happy.
So if he used like a proper piece of technology to call you, he'd be your favorite?
Well, every time I call him, he looks happier than he ever is when he's here stateside. I have no
understand.
idea.
I
Then that's a drag.
Yeah.
I mean, in all seriousness, that's got to suck.
Yeah, I would like someone to take care of my mom and not just me and my wife, right?
I could not agree with you more.
Yes.
So I think that's completely 100% legit. I think that's it. And that's a lot of people.
My parents are tied for first in my book.
There you go.
You came from a broken home, so you have to please both of them.
You got to love
That's
them
right.
both.
That's what I do.
My
Pleaser.
There is I think it might be 32 different episodes, 3 different seasons, a biopic, much like for Elvis.
Yeah.
But a series that Mark Burnett of Survivor fame produced about a singer. His name's Luis Miguel. And he's like like Julio Iglesias. He's prolific.
Is he an Italian singer?
He was born in Puerto Rico, but became a naturalized citizen of Mexico. He's the son of Mexico.
All right.
And my mother
is he still alive?
Yes, as far as I know.
That's fantastic.
My mom,
Luis Miguel.
Dated Mariah Carey at one point.
No, don't you look it up. You just pay attention to your brother.
All right.
I'll look it up. When I'm going over here, you look. Come on.
I want
we don't
to see
have to
a
do things at the
photograph of
same
him.
time. Well, I do too. And if I find one, I'll do it. Just you pay attention. Let me do this, please. God.
We the Fantanas go over to my mom's on Sunday to spend Sunday and Monday with my mom.
July 3rd and 4th.
Yes. My mom has no friends. Why? Probably because, she's rough around the edges, and COVID either took them to the happy hunting ground, her friends, or they moved to South America.
Did she have friends at one time?
Yes, a lot of them.
All right.
But everybody moved away.
Yeah.
Like all my friends moved to Florida, like Mike.
Yep.
Or they decided to vote for Donald Trump and make it their platform.
You still got me, baby.
I still got you. You found Luis Miguel, right?
Luis Miguel.
Yeah.
He's handsome.
Which, by the way, I'd rather discuss at a higher level. But just because you voted for the man, if you can't have a discussion if you can't see anything past January 6th, I just don't want anything to do with you. So or reevaluate. Some maybe this wasn't the right choice.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So my mom, this chronicles him growing up, Luis Miguel.
So when he was Miguelito.
Yes, and then my mom, every time she sees some sort of trauma or issue with somebody being too machista, and she starts saying that was me. I could have sang or I could have been
she gloms onto the situation.
She gloms onto every little situation.
Okay.
Right?
How does that relate to Luis Miguel, though?
Because it's full of a Latin American upbringing with a lot of the woman being secondary within the upbringing of the superstar pop star.
Okay.
But the mom not getting enough credit, right? So my mom, and I'll give you the perfect scene, that my mom, the kids are all around Luis Miguel. He has brothers, and they're all working hard, and the mom never gets credit because the dad's the dad agent, and the dad's always going to the big parties, and the mom's never getting invited to the parties, and she's just beating this drum of that was me. And usually I can tune her out.
So let me see if I've got this straight, because I want to make sure
Please,
I
I'm
understand.
not telling the story appropriately.
But I understand. So no, you are. I get what you're saying. I just want to be clear on it. So when your mom's talking about when she watches this, that Luis Miguel has a father who's his manager, and he gets to share the spotlight and the limelight, and he's out on the road with him, and they're going out to all the premieres, and they're doing all the concerts.
Grammys.
Meanwhile, mom is is in the
Taking care of the
background,
kids.
doesn't get nearly as credit. She just slaying the rat. And your mom is watching this going, that's me.
Yes.
That's my life. That's how I was treated. I never had the spot. I could
She
have
never
been
got
a
a shot. She could have been contender. Yes, she could have been.
Yes.
Could have been
I don't know
contender.
why I turned your
It's
mom
fine.
into Triumph the
It's
Insult Comic
fine.
Dog.
It's fine.
I apologize.
And
for
along
that,
the way,
you know.
there was a little Rita Moreno, but it was a good trip.
Like that, yes.
Then don't wear it.
Yes.
Don,
So, spoiler alert.
Yes.
Just turn it down for 2 seconds. It's all in Spanish, by the way. If you want to learn Spanish, watch it.
Okay.
You'll see the
Can
subtitles.
you get English subtitles?
I'm sure you can.
Awesome.
That's how Shannon was watching it. You find out that they most likely buried this mom in the backyard over some financial issues. Really.
What do you mean? Murdered her?
Murdered her, right? It is
like
alluded,
Luis Miguel's father murdered mom?
This is alleged. Luis Miguel's father and his brother murdered his wife at the time because she wouldn't sign certain paperwork.
The mother of Luis Miguel was murdered.
Was murdered, yes.
By the father.
But not Luis Miguel.
Not Luis Miguel.
Thank God.
He was a little kid and on tour. So
he's a child star too?
He's a child star too. Like, been a star his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom starts talking about how she could have been murdered and she could have been buried in the backyard. And at this point...
by your father, maybe?
Yeah, I'm like, who else would have done it, right? So I'm at this point,
Jose.
I call my dad because this is 12 episodes in. I've been hearing this drum beat. I'm like, I called my dad and I said, Dad, would you ever have buried Mom in the backyard of the Blair House apartments, like when we were younger and were growing up? And,
when he brings something in, you never quite know.
No,
and
it's
he
always
looks
exciting.
And he's like, he looks happy. He's out at some cafe with God knows who. He says, "¿Qué?" I'm saying, I've been sitting here with your wife, my mother, for 12 episodes. And she keeps talking about how she was, never allowed and this and that. And I'm fine with that. I'm sure you got to deal with it when you're here. That's why you leave for 6 months every year. But will you please tell Mom you weren't ever going to bury her in the playground of the Blair House apartments in Silver Spring?
So she's getting serious with this.
Correct.
She's arguing with you, saying, this really could have happened.
This could have happened. If we had a bigger backyard or not an apartment, anything's possible,
And what did Pop say?
My dad says, "What are you watching that Netflix series?"
So he knows of the series.
Because he's watched it.
He's watching it longingly, going, I should have buried her in the backyard.
Ascarito, hindsight is always 20/20.
What did he say? What did he say
My
about
dad
it?
starts laughing because he knows the pain on me.
Good.
Right?
I'm glad. I was waiting for that closure. He starts laughing.
My dad starts like cackling like I cackle on the show. And my mom starts yelling at my dad and me.
Really?
Yeah. And
seriously yelling?
Yeah, seriously, because she's wearing the Scarlet Letter. And I said, we don't know. I was like, Dad barely does anything around the house. The last thing he does is bury a body. And two, I was like, I was never a pop star. Jose's not a pop star. Like, this is not you. Like, you're killing me with all these, like, this was me. And now you got to talk to Dad and tell him all the things you just said for the last 12 hours of this episode.
Because it's upsetting her son.
Yes. Correct.
You called her on her BS.
Yes.
That if you know what, if you keep talking like that, I'm calling Dad.
Yes.
Get on the phone.
Yeah, you tell
Dad,
him.
Listen to what she's saying.
Him.
Do you think any of her game plan was to get you upset, or did she just want sympathy?
She just like yelling at the TV, but she didn't know that I'm sitting there stewing. Right.
So what? Did she get on the phone with your father?
No, she got on FaceTime and she goes, "Todo está bien, mijito." Like, everything's fine, sweetie.
To your dad.
Yeah, like I'm the crazy one.
So she is connecting.
Yeah. Okay. And she
right.
says, so she goes, "Solamente estaba jugando, pero no me dejaste estudiar," which means you didn't let me study. Like, my dad didn't let her go to college.
Oh, she's beat that drum before.
No, they start fighting over.
They're fighting.
They're fighting over WhatsApp, and then I'm sitting
for
there,
something that happened 50 years ago.
So I'm sitting there, like, look, I said I was just calling kind of as a bit to see if Mom would actually tell you that she thought you'd bury her in the backyard that we never had. Now you guys are fighting, and now Mom is mad at me. I'm going to hang up the phone. I know you guys love each other, even though you spent half the year apart. I'm going to take Shannon to Home Goods, and then we'll be back in an hour. That's it.
And did you leave them connected? Or
I left them connected. I was like, you guys figure this out. And I left. And I said, Mom, and this is what drives me up. My mom is so cheap. Every time there's another episode coming, like on Netflix, she asks, "Cuánto va a costar este?" Like, how much is this next episode going to cost? And I'm like, Mom, it's in a package. They don't charge you for every episode that comes up. You're killing me. You're killing me.
So you don't know the result of what
I don't. I left. We went to Home Goods and found nothing, but walked around for an hour.
Rob, that means we get an update.
Yeah, it'd be great is if you went to Home Goods and came home with a shovel.
I look forward to hearing how the date ends.
Don't know.
Left. But does she normally burn hot and then forget this kind of stuff and move on?
Yes. Quando, Mike. Quando. How much?
Quando. Hey, how's the town doing today?
The town is cleaned up all the fireworks and ready to bring you some entertainment.
Very good. We'll be right back.
Rob Spiewak.
How's your balance? Yeah, you're kind of slow getting up from the bed. Yeah.
Rob.
And here is
My walker. This is the deluxe folding walker. You're going to want to put tennis balls on it. Yeah.
Don't settle for just any mobility device. Step up to the Cadillac of home assist age.
From Spiewak Industries, it's the new Dude Walker.
God damn it.
Shut in no more. Perfect for the convalescent that's hobbled, handicapped, or hampered.
Yes, the Dude Walker combines style and sophistication with solid support and stability.
I'm the dude.
You can get the new Dude Walker along with accessories like catheters and tennis balls from the Mike O'Mara Shopping Center. Click the link and you'll be mobile in no time.
I'm walking here.
The new Dude Walker. Walk on.
Caution, some items may have shifted during flight.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, everybody, mellower vibes are just a drop or a toke away with Dodd Grass.
Yes.
Dodd Grass.
Dad Grass will take you back. Just sit back, light up, and chill out the old-fashioned way. Sweet dreams are made of CBD. Dad Grass is legal, organic, smokable hemp that relaxes your body and mellows your mind. Their 100% organic pre-rolled joints are very low in THC, and they're high in CBD, so you can enjoy the effects of CBD while keeping a clear head. And if you want the toke without the smoke, Dad Grass also has a CBD tincture made with the same high-quality hemp. It's easy to dose, and the effects come on smooth, man. Chill out without getting stoned, dear. And now, All Things Must Grass celebrates Sweet George with special edition George Harrison pre-rolled joints or merch. Great for any Beatles fan who needs to chill. All Dad Grass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Right now, Dad Grass is offering TMOS listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/TMOS. Go to dadgrass.com/TMOS for 20% off your first order. Remember, man, that's dadgrass.com/TMOS.
Sound.
We call this stereophonic
You'd like
sound.
Luis Miguel.
Soundtown.
I bet I would.
He actually sang a song with Frank Sinatra.
Oh, well, he's a big deal then. How old is he now?
Luis Miguel. When Frank, I guess, put out an 80th.
Yeah,
right?
The Duets album.
Yeah, Duets.
Is he on the Duets album?
He's on the Duets.
I have it at home
Luis
then.
Miguel.
Yeah. Oh, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
That sounded so insincere. Yeah.
No, that is
You sounded
sincere,
like you
though.
were on the program. Yeah.
I'll never listen to it.
Where do you? I will listen to it tonight.
Let me know what you think.
I will absolutely call you late at night.
Please.
Mike, how do you
What?
feel about a cappella groups? I'm not a fan.
I don't mind them at all. I mean, if they're good,
I
it's
love the
like a
Bellas.
barbershop, you know?
Well, barbershop I like.
Yeah.
I think that's
Right.
sort of different than when they came out with the really red hot. Who was it that had the Christmas
Pentatonics.
Pentatonics, yeah. I thought that Pentatonics. Pentotonics.
That's Peptotonics.
Mike, 4
I
out of
like
5.
the Manhattan Transfer. They did a little of that kind of stuff, didn't they?
Was it Pentatonics?
Pentatonics. But Mike Manhattan Transfer.
Wait a minute. That's devil, right?
Yeah.
Is that devil worship?
Yeah, the Manhattan Transfer never worshipped the devil when they sang "Boy from New York City."
Pentagram and tonic. That's what I have when I go to my Satan worshipers
You
parties.
could have probably sang in some sort of a cappella group.
A glee club.
I do. Here, I'll give you a little.
Please.
All right, here we go. Here we go. The jitterbug.
Well, I like when they use the a cappella style, sometimes not for music, but sort of as a gimmick. This is a cappella group called May Tree, and they use, this is just voices on this, doing iPhone sounds and rings. Keep in mind, these are all human voices. This is pretty neat.
Yeah, this
I like it.
I do too.
soothing.
I like it.
I don't like that one so much.
That's a marimba.
Marimba.
Is it all high register stuff?
What do you mean?
I mean, is it all up high like that?
No, there's a bass guy in there too. Yeah.
Watch this. Check this out.
Okay.
Mr. Sandman.
Yes.
Make me a dream.
Bum 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum.
Mike, I think we need to spend some studio time together.
That was in the
Excellent.
Back to the Future 2 soundtrack.
And number one, no, Back to the
And
Future
one?
one.
One?
Yeah,
Oh,
when he
man.
goes, when Marty gets there.
Bum,
All right, when you go to a wedding, or as I said earlier, a funeral for Lindsay Lohan, be careful if you're going to drunk dance.
Oh, no.
Because over the weekend, drunk dad was drunk dancing at a wedding, and he was waving sparklers. But because it looked like it was the reception was at some sort of farm setting, there was dried like corn shocks around.
Oh, God.
This is the sound of the wedding reception decor being set on fire by drunk dad and his spark. And they were the long sparklers, like maybe 2 feet long.
Oh,
so he's doing he looks like Edie from Grey Gardens.
Oh, he's dancing in that awkward way.
Yes, he is. And if you look at the video, you know he's drunk because once it lit on fire, he turned around and reached into it.
He didn't pay for the wedding.
If Charles Barkley was here, he'd say, "It sounds like there's some big women there."
Yes, I think there are some thick-set women there.
It sounds like there's probably some big women there. You play that one more time. After I say that now, you listen to these women yelling and tell me if you don't think they're big. That shows a fat scream.
Yeah. Save the cake.
Have you guys, as dads, thought about would you drink at your daughter's wedding?
I can't.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Although I would have 4 months ago. The plan was
we
yes.
don't need to go on after that. That's it.
It was one of the things that Kevin said. He says, "Well, you know what? You're not going to miss out on a lot of stuff. You will have cider at your daughter's wedding." I said, "I can do that."
My answer for you, okay? I got to go there and do the walkie-walkie and pay the payee probably, So the answer is a big time yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the saddest people I've ever seen have been fathers at daughters' weddings as they write a check to keep the bar open again.
I don't think it's abnormal
my poor
for me
Uncle
to also
Pete,
say,
God, he looked like he is
real happy with my modern family situation.
Yeah.
Very, very happy. But there are, let's be real. You're going to have a couple of toddies, a couple of cocktails when you're at a place where there are some people there that really don't like
enemies
you.
at the gate.
Yeah, and God knows you've already paid for them.
Absolutely. Hi, former family.
Mike, this is the second time Manassas has come up on the show today.
Yes.
She comes from Manassas.
Oh.
She's 86 years old.
God bless her.
And still at work at her chosen profession. At 86, she remains the world's oldest flight attendant.
Good for her.
Let's have a listen, shall we?
Is she hot? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is she that?
She's hotter than the flaming decorations at that wedding. Don't get a sparkler near her.
I thought they had to retire when they turned 60.
Listen, I got to look at this lady. I don't think anyone tells this lady to do anything.
She's from Manassas?
Yeah, she's from Manassas.
Would she fly out of Dulles?
I imagine so. She got her start on Eastern Airlines when she was like a kid.
My God. I flew it. I'm old enough to have flown that.
Here she is, 86-year-old flight attendant.
I wanted to be a flight attendant from the time I got on the first airplane. I was 16 years old. The pilot and the flight attendant walked across the hall. And I thought that was for me. Even when I think I might retire or something, then I come to work and I think, I couldn't do that.
Her biggest change she's seen in their time on the airplane, Mike, is now when she started, they had wicker seats.
Hey, God bless this lady for keep
God bless her, Oscar.
Right?
Yes,
keep me going.
Yeah.
86-year-old
wicker seats.
I'm just saying.
Wicker seats.
I don't think she takes a lot of guff from anybody.
Oh,
she looks
smoke.
No.
Like she's,
Does she say? Does it say what airline?
I don't think she's. They didn't mention what she's currently on. She started on Eastern.
I came to this country on Eastern Airlines.
Yeah, the pilot speak. You say, "What equipment are you on?" In her case, it's a pacemaker.
Dang, I want to tell you.
I want to tell you.
And let's close, Mike, with top skunk news. The skunk is a peculiar animal.
Ooh.
Okay.
So this is a hot-breaking skunk news.
Animal control officers in Nebraska recently removed a Miller Lite can that was stuck on the head of a skunk. God, that smell was awful, said the skunk.
That one's for my mom, and that's all I got.
I like that.
Wicker seats, Mike.
Wicker seats made me laugh. We got to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode. And I'd love an update. Check on Yoli and see how she's doing. We got to roll. Thanks, Pony, for listening. And for Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show.
Get it at michaelmarashow.com.
Mike O'Mara, radio entertainment.
Who cares? Nobody gives a crap.
It's all a big nothing. What makes you think you're so special?
So what do I meant to do? Drop my pants and fire a rocket?
Fish in the hole!
I see